How are you? Good.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
I'm Tara. I spoke with you
Yeah.
yesterday.
Okay.
Here's the information that I have brought. It's just a copy for your records.
Okay.
Okay, Mark, have you been to a Board of Equalization hearing before this?
No.
Okay, I'll kind of tell you the process we go through. Every year, the assessor is required by Idaho statute to bring all appraisals up to market value, based on comparisons.
Sure.
They put a value out. Obviously, you disagree with it, then you have the right to come to a Board of Equalization hearing. We'll take the evidence given by both of you, and we'll have to make a decision based on what's submitted to us on the record.
Okay.
Should you disagree with that, you have 28 days, and we'll give the instructions on how to appeal that to the State Board of Tax Appeals, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with law terms, but it's a trial de novo, a new trial.
Okay.
So you can take everything on the record here and add to it if you can see that there's some things that you didn't come prepared for that might help your case.
Okay.
But to begin with, we'll put everybody involved under oath. Raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. We do that because it's like a court proceeding. It's not quasi-judicial. So the house that you have is on 1285 Bear.
It is.
And they have a value of $328,812 is what the assessor is defending, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I noticed, from your notes, you're talking about percentages of increase in property taxes. We all know everybody's concerned about that.
Sure.
What we're trying to do is find comparable sales and see if it's within the market value. So
Sure. Okay.
anything you have like that, go ahead and
Proceed.
tell us why you think it's in error.
Well, I checked on Zillow this morning. There are 509 homes in Idaho Falls.
Okay.
Okay. 12 pages of 42 homes per page. I just took a sampling on page 1 of the 42. 20 of the 42 homes would have price reductions in effect right now. 100,000, 100,000, 105,000, 69,900, 49,000. It's throughout Zillow as of this morning. Most of it occurred in the month of June. There's price reductions. So, I think things are tanking, and they seem to be tanking fast. That's one of the things I'd like to submit as evidence to the pricing. The other thing is the sensitivity of the homeowner's exemption to the tax base. That when we started out, I looked on Realtor.com, let's start June 2020, 2 years, June 2020, June 2021, June 2022. Average price of a home here was $250,000 in June 2020. In 2021, it's up to $320,000. In June 2022, it's up to $400,000. Okay, so if you take the tax base with the homeowner's exemption, which has a cap at $250,000, you're allowed half of that, maximum of half of that. So you have, in 2020, you have a net taxable property value of $125,000. In 2021, you have a net NTPV of $195,000. That's up 56%. It's really sensitive to this homeowner's exemption cap. In 2022, it'll be $275,000. That's using a $400,000 home minus the 125 you're allowed. Okay, so what's the NTPV total adjustment in just 2 years, 2020 to 2022? Is 275,000 divided by 125,000 is 220%. Okay, it sounds a little high, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. The home price increase, 400 divided by 250, 60% increase. But the NTPV, 220%. That's where I'm coming from. My bottom line is right here on the tail end of the assessment. And net taxable property value is what is my main interest in all this thing. And it's up 81% for 1 year. My example says it's only at 56. I got hit a little harder than my example, but I don't know what you think of that. I don't like it.
Question. Okay. When you say 81%, that includes your calculations for the homeowner's exemption, correct?
Yes, that's right, the bottom line, net taxable property value. Last year it was 112,714. This year it's 203,812. You divide those out, it's 1.81.
Yeah, and I radially agreed with you when you were pointing those out, because
Okay.
I advocated with the legislator this year to raise that homeowner's exemption higher
Well,
than
that's
they
it.
did. That's out of our control.
You raised the value bar, but the homeowner's exemption bar stays where it is. It's kind of a hard hurdle to,
I agree.
it's really sensitive to that.
One thing he's referring to is the legislature sets the laws.
I realize that too.
We
I
raise
know
our
you're
hand to
stuck.
the square and says we uphold them, but
It just sucks to be me.
the other, well,
But I know you guys are
I could
stuck.
give you a couple of personal examples on properties they get me with. It sucks to
I
be
get
worse
that.
than you in a couple of
I know
things.
you're bound by, by
Yeah.
your states. That's,
But this is another frustrating, because I think you pointed it out. It's not bound to the percent of increase like the budgets are.
no, all right.
City and county governments are restricted to approximately 5% new revenue. So that means our levy goes down.
Okay.
You're in school district 91. Schools are not bound by that, so they keep the levy the same. So you can see where the increase there is going. In fact, I just see that District 91 paid a bond off 9 years early.
Mhm.
Instead of bonding enough to pay the debt each year, they keep the levy rate at the maximum and then pay it off. So that's where a lot of your increase, if you look back at your actual taxes each year. But the other thing is the different classes of categories of property are assessed differently, and it's based on the market. Commercial hasn't gone up as fast as homes, because
No, I
quite the
noticed
amount.
that too. Yeah, talk about your-
Agriculture is given an exemption. So as the overall demand goes up and it shifts more value to the homeowners, that's just an explanation.
No,
So
appreciate
do
that.
you have any comparable homes? Because one thing I noticed on these, they're required to assess properties as of January 1st, 2021. And so next year they'll take into account anything that's happening this year.
Okay.
And we are seeing a flattening, and that may mean it'll go back down. But that's a couple of explanations.
But it seems kind of, where you stand on the subject, depends upon where you're sitting. The Social Security benefits, we got the COLA announcement for this year. Cost of living allowance, 5.9%. What do you do? With an inflation rate of 8.6, the government says, oh, it's not that bad. But yet, things are happening like this.
Well, I sit on both sides,
Okay.
but because we're probably the same generation that remembers Jimmy Carter days.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So it's interesting sometimes
I
when
go back
history
to county
repeats itself.
too. See, I'm kidding.
Anyway, let's talk about the values and what's kind of the conclusion on the value here.
Right. But I'm here just because, I can go shop for, cheaper clothes. I can go shop for cheaper food. I can go shop for new insurance if I don't like my insurance rate. I'm kind of stuck. I checked Amy's List, Craigslist, and Facebook, and I can't get a new tax assessment, okay? I'm not trying to be funny, I'm just, I can't go shopping for it, okay? This is why I'm here. I'm just trying to plead my case and say, here's my logic and reasoning behind the whole thing. And not say anybody's bad, excessive. I realize your position too. You have to do what you need to do. And I'm just,
This home's on Bear Avenue.
So. But really, that probably much sums up my
Do
argument.
you have a copy of this?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's give the appraiser a chance to go through it and explain it.
So, as you can see, I did pull a couple of different cells. Right now, we currently have your home listed in what is considered an average condition. However, looking at it, I feel that it could go either way, because I felt like it could either be an average or in good condition, because you obviously take great pride in ownership in your home, it's well maintained. So I pulled the average cells and the good cells to just kind of show you what both are doing. I've included some pictures to show you the comparable cells that I pulled to give you an idea of what we're comparing the home to. You'll see on the spreadsheet that the majority of the homes that I did pull did have basement finish, where we have yours is pickup with no basement finish. So I also went in and deducted the value of the basement from each of those homes that currently have basement finish to give you both $1 per square foot with the finished basement and then also $1 per square foot without the basement cost, to give you an idea of where they're selling per dollar per square foot in each instance. In the average condition home, you'll see that the average cell, not including the basement value, was $158,000. And then I am showing that yours is currently coming in at $148,000. So it did fall within the average cell of what we have for average homes. I think I mentioned to you
$148.
$148 a square foot.
Well, you said $148,000.
Oh, sorry.
Man, I
Thank you
didn't
for the
realize
correction.
that. It was going up that fast.
You're like, whoa. Yeah, no, sorry. Thank you for correcting me. But yes, we currently have yours in at $148 a square foot is what it's coming out to. So, unfortunately, due to that, it did fall within the line of sale, so I wasn't able to adjust in that way. However, if there was an issue with the home itself, that is something like I did mention to you in the email that we could take into account for. So if there were concerns with the home, that's something we could look at.
I fixed everything.
So, like I said, pride in ownership and,
Right.
yeah.
I had a couple of questions going through your sheet.
Certainly.
You've got a pretty wide range of year build.
I did try to keep it as close to possible. There is one in there that was built in 1950, and the only reason I kept that one in is because it didn't have basement finish. So I wanted to kind of show what a home similar in style was selling for. It's not the best comparable, but again, I did keep it in there simply because it didn't have basement finish, whereas the subject does not have basement finish. Otherwise, I did try to keep it within the 10 years of the age built on the subject home.
Of course, if we threw that one out, it would raise his value even more.
Yeah, so it was actually a benefit to keep that one in there because it did lower the average.
But is this being compared to like new construction?
No. Nope, as you'll see here, I have compared, so here's your home,
Right.
and these first three are homes that are average homes in which we are actually comparing it to. And then these other two were good homes, or good condition, I should say, but I felt like they could still be comparables if your home was in a good condition. So that's why I pulled them. So you'll see that they're, aside from this one, they're all built within 10 years of your home. Actually, some of them were built within 5 years. So
Right.
I'm trying to keep it as close as possible to your home.
You mentioned in your sheet that an outlandish increase of 53%, and I don't disagree with you. Mine went up 55%. Talking to my kids that live in the area, that seems like kind of a number I've seen. Is that 50 to 60 percentile? Is that correct?
Yeah, in general, we found.
In general, that's kind of what you're seeing in all homes.
I mean, that's not how we increased the values. We didn't say they needed to go up by percentage, but we do find that for a large portion of the county, that's a cool increase to bring them up to market value, which is what.
Okay, I'm not typical.
You went up more, huh?
Because you're just amazingly tolerant.
Yeah, so you're really asking us to pay a lot more money for the influx of people during the COVID period where there weren't a lot lot of homes being built, and prices went up as a result of it, and we pay the price. That's what you're asking.
We're not asking, we're trying to determine the value based on what the
Well,
legislature said we have.
that's the cause and effect.
And we've argued legislatively to change some of that. There's a disproportionate shift to homeowners. One thing we fought for last year is getting the state to use sales tax and take the homeowners exemption and pay and make your taxes on your home zero. And they pay the homeowners taxes. We get the revenue from the state out of a broader based tax, and then the people who are moving here. That didn't go anywhere.
They didn't listen to us.
So
It's just kind of a hard pill to swallow, and, I don't see anything, huge benefits for having my, taxable property value raised 81%. I don't get it, but anyway, okay.
can you find anything to dispute this information they've got on the actual
Not
sales?
really. It's not, I'm just trying to argue it from my standpoint, or the point I'm making is, it never seems to go away. Once it raises to a certain bar, you're stuck there. And, if you start increasing, 81% is like, the miracle of compound interest. I had a little chart in here. It's equivalent to 3 years, it's, 21% increase. 81, you hit me with it all at the same time. Or, 5 years, it's, what was it? Gosh, I lost it there. But anyway, it just seems like it's hard for me to swallow. And it's gonna be hard for everybody to swallow, I know it is. So I think you're facing a pretty good battle here.
And the reason it stays is because of demand. I did see, I've been around long enough to experience 2008, values actually went down.
Right.
You know,
I saw the same thing.
that is a rarity.
Right.
And the thing of the way the law is on that, if values go down, then the levies go up. We're restricted by roughly 4 or 5% new dollars to collect over everybody. How it's distributed is sometimes inequitable because of the markets of others. But here again, the schools aren't bound by that. So
Right.
you've seen this type of a thing going on, and you sound like a statistics guy that would do graphs.
But if it does increase 81%, then it goes up again the next year, even 10%, that's still a huge amount. Because the base has been increased by that percentage.
Going up 10% this year and 10% next year is a huge amount.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of money.
It is. And so, what's your?
Well, I just wanted to say that we're bound to determine whether our assessor priced your home at the value, the market value. That's where all the arguments you're making, our senators and legislators need to hear, because they're the ones that can address every issue that concerns you. And
Yeah, I'm gonna go Boise.
No,
They're all home right now.
and I can tell you that all of them are very receptive to working with their constituents. We'd have a good set of legislators.
Yeah, I think your legislators, you're kind of the core, probably Dave Land, Dave. Who else is there? RB Hart, and what's his name?
Marco Erickson. I would recommend you contact Dave Land, Senator Land. It's dlant@senate.idaho.gov.
He's one who reaches out to us and tries to understand it and tries to change the laws.
I can't argue that, 148 square foot of, well below, new construction, I heard, my brother's a contractor, he's talking $300 a square foot. Easily, and I just think,
What did you do for a living?
They have all phase construction.
You,
I don't do that.
well, what did you do?
Well, what do? I'm an structural engineer.
You have kind of an engineer's mind that.
I do,
goes through
I do
analyzes.
mostly industrial, for
Okay.
like the Idaho one, Simplot, Land West, and,
Oh, you still do that, huh?
oh yeah. We're doing a big project in Twin Falls right now, and out here in Idaho Falls
I
too.
was gonna say, I know we've kind of worked with them to get that expansion over the years.
Right.
But their values haven't gone up because there's not that much demand on industrial, commercial. It's where somebody will raise
Right,
the price.
all
by
material
it.
prices are still skyrocketing. You know, so that's been a big, huge increase.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think they valued it correctly. I would move that we uphold the assessor's value.
Second that.
and I will agree with the same reservations that we've expressed.
Couple of neighbors that can't shop for insurance, their insurance is dropping and nobody will pick them up because of the value of the
Yeah,
homes.
I thought I'd go there
Area
and
that we
just-
live in.
See,
I
that's,
throw some insurance and stuff in there. They
So
they
at
just
least you
send
can
me a
shop
letter, it's
for
going up, I
other
don't know
insurance.
how
I have
far it's
one
going.
option.
So it's like,
Yeah.
well, see, there's,
But
there's,
you can't complain to you guys about
there's
it.
the other hidden inflation is because the market value is going up because of the cost for replacement.
Sure, no, I know my home's underinsured right now.
Yeah, they've adjusted, they'll come in and they'll automatically adjust it.
Right.
You have to look at that too.
Yeah, so, anyway, I appreciate you.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks for listening.
And there's a good mark alert, so they're going to call.
Well, they need
They actually listen